of applause, everybody, for McKenna, Grace, and Ernie Hudson! All right, guys, we're gonna do a crowd shot. Can you guys pull out your cell phones, turn on your flashlights? Ernie and McKenna will have you stand right here. That's okay, you're doing great.
Check.
You guys, McKenna's gonna do it on her own personal cell phone, so you guys are gonna be on it. So on the count of 3, you guys are gonna go nuts. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
How's everybody feel tonight? Y'all can do better than that. Y'all sound like you're at a golf tournament. Make some noise for Ernie Hudson and McKenna Grace. Thank you. I'm your moderator. My name is Jay Whitaker. Let's get started. First off, how was your day? How was your flight? How was everything?
The flight for me was great. The day has been great, and Salt Lake City is amazing, and so it's great to be here. Yeah.
Right, McKenna, how about you?
On the contrary, I've had a terrible day, a terrible flight, bad experience. No, I've had a great time. I had a great flight. I've had a very fun day getting to meet everybody.
Okay, well, I have to make sure, because it's a Utah original, and make sure before you leave, you have to try fry sauce. Have you had fry sauce? Yes.
Fry sauce?
Yes, you just take some ketchup and some mayo, and you do this with your finger, and you try it. It's a Utah thing. You just have it. Enjoy it, okay?
Wow. Yeah,
Okay.
Put it on fries. Get you some funeral potatoes. You'll love it. Welcome to Salt Lake City.
I'm looking forward to it. I knew something was missing. That has to be it.
So let's get right into it. We know why we're here. What do we want to talk about? We know we want to talk about some Ghostbusters. We know we want to talk about some Handmaid's Tale. I want to talk to you about Oz for a minute. So there's a lot of things. I'm so happy and proud of y'all. First of all, round of applause again just for them for making it out here, showing some love.
You know, I'm so impressed that so many of you guys are here. This is beautiful and surprising. So thank you for showing up and showing out. Yeah.
It's all y'all. So now, McKenna, you play Young Phoebe, which is like also a dope rap name, by the way. Young Phoebe's a dope rap name. But what was it like just jumping into that role with Ghostbusters? Obviously, it's been around for so long. And what was it like just being on set for the first time?
Well, we were just laughing about this a second ago because we had to do photo ops together.
Yeah.
But then after our photo ops together, it was his solo photo ops. But I was like, can I take a picture too? Can I have a picture to put on my wall? Because Ghostbusters was something that I grew up with. It was a really big part of my childhood. So it was very surreal to get to audition for, much less to get to be a part of, is still mind-boggling to me. It's very cool. I'm a really big fan. It's so weird to me. Whenever I was younger, my best friend growing up went to a Comic-Con and met Ernie and took a picture with him, and I was so mad because I was so jealous, and I was like, I cannot believe you got to meet him. And then now I get to meet him.
And now you're just here, just
so weird.
signing autographs, doing photo ops with him,
crazy.
and on a panel. Yeah, this is awesome.
It's insane.
And now, Ernie, first of all, thank you as a young brother from LA. During Halloween, guess who I was dressing up as? You, sir. So I appreciate it. I remember having the Ghostbusters on Our Own, Bobby Brown on cassette. Yeah, I'm dating myself, but that was my jam. And so how have you? This franchise is very important to a lot of people. It's iconic. How have you maintained that longevity?
Yeah, you know, it's the great thing about Ghostbusters for me, it sort of crosses generations, and I meet so many people who over the past 40 years have stories about how the movie has impacted their lives, their families. People would say it's the first movie they saw in the theater, or the first movie they saw with their fathers or their mothers, and it's just very, very touching. And when I go anywhere, you know, even out of the country, guys will show up with their jumpsuits and their backpacks, and And it's just nice I've been an actor for almost 60 years, and it's nice to have a film that, that has that kind of longevity. And I was concerned before we did Ghostbusters Afterlife until I got on the set and met McKenna and Paul Rudd and just the new cast, and I knew that the franchise is in great hands. So I'm just very, very proud to be a part of this and that you guys like the movie. I mean, it's just very, very special.
So I gotta ask, because I have to. Y'all believe ghosts is real?
Yeah.
I mean, like, honestly, just be real.
Yeah, I believe ghosts are real.
You got a ghost story?
Well, see, I believe ghosts are real, but I don't believe ghosts can cross into this dimension. And I believe they're real and they're in our heads. And I believe in possessions. I believe you can be possessed by ghosts, and it'll have you doing funky, nasty things. And you'll be wondering, why did I do that? And your families will be saying, oh my God, I can't believe he's doing that. And I think those are things they're those thoughts that you have to always be mindful of. So it's that energy that's out there that never goes away. And I think that's how it impacts our lives.
Kenna?
I mean, I believe in like spirits and demons, and I know that there's something out there. I don't know if it's in the same capacity of like the ghosts and Ghostbusters, but I feel like there's something out there. Like there's gotta be.
So what was it like just being on set? Like, who scares the easiest? You're already laughing, so I know there's somebody.
No. Geez, I don't know. You guys are, sort of newer to it, so.
Oh, geez. I don't know. I feel like everybody's pretty good. I'm trying to think if I've like hidden around a corner and scared someone on set, because I'm sure I have.
Well, Danny Aykroyd definitely believes in ghosts and believes in, all that stuff that sort of came out of his mind. So he's definitely sensitive to weird things and weird goings on. So
I feel like he's
totally
more excited than scared.
And he's
though.
excited, yeah, not scared, but can you believe? Oh my God, yeah, Danny, I can believe. It's okay. So yeah, I would say Danny would be the one to.
Right on. So for both of you, this question goes to both of you. Your experience in acting, obviously, Ernie, you said you've had over 60 years in working in acting and film. What advice would you give to any actors out there? And McKenna's the same question to you. Obviously, you don't have 60 years, but what advice would you give to young actors out there that are aspiring to be on the stage and be on the silver screen?
Well, I'd be interested in hearing McKenna's answer because she's from a whole new generation.
Right.
Probably about, I don't know, it's probably about 50 years between or more, between our ages. So I'm kind of curious as to, and then I'll say what, Yeah.
Okay, well, I was excited to like sit here and like listen and learn what I could. Geez, I may not have been acting for 60 years, but I have been for about 13 now. Right. So still a second, but I don't know. For me, that's always such a hard question because I think there's so much advice that you can give to somebody, but it's such a weird industry whenever you really get into it. Nothing can really prepare you for it until you're in it.
Right.
But for me, in my experience, I think that it can be a very discouraging industry and a very discouraging profession because there's so many constant no's. And I think that comparison in any regard is going to kill all of us just because it's like the worst. But all you see in acting is all of the yeses and everybody else's success. But behind closed doors, there's so many just doors slammed in your face, so many no's, 24/7 every day. So I think that it's truly just about trying to learn how to have thick skin and to roll with the punches and just to not get discouraged is my biggest thing that I'm also trying to learn myself,
right.
is not getting discouraged because there's a lot of no's in the industry.
Rejection is redirection, and so yeah, it's like you have to say you will hear 1,000 no's. A lot of people think it's luck, but it's some of it's a little bit luck, but it's also proper preparation and being ready for that moment and being ready for that audition.
Yeah.
And then you go out and kill it, and next thing you know, There you are. We're watching you on the silver screen, and I love that. So great answer. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Ernie?
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you said, but I think that for me, coming from a small town in Michigan, where I never knew anybody who in any way was connected to the industry, and making up my mind that I was going to be an actor, and hearing everyone say that it was impossible and that you can't make it, or that you must know someone who can get you, all the stuff that you hear. I've always believed that there is, we talked about ghosts earlier, I believe just like there are negative spirits, I believe there are positive spirits, and I believe that we have this energy that will guide us and direct us to the thing that we're led to. I think if you get a feeling that it's something you want to do then that's something that's calling you. And I think you have to trust the universe. The Bible talks about putting out your trust in man. I don't think, coming to Hollywood, I never met anyone who sort of opened the door for me. But I met a lot of people who were willing to help. I think we're guided to that. So my advice is to trust your inner spirit, trust your guide, trust, and do the work. Do the work before you have the opportunity. If you know you're doing it, prepare yourself so when that opportunity comes, there's not a second chance. You step into the room, but you have to prepare first. It's almost like the story in the Bible about the brides who were waiting for the groom, and most of them fell asleep or their candles burned out, but the one who was prepared. So you got to be ready for that opportunity. But if you're called, and I believe it's a calling, I believe that we all have everything we need to be successful, but it's hard for most of us to believe and trust in that. And if you're called to whatever, that's your joy, that's your success. And follow that. But trust your heart, because parents don't know what you're here to do. They have an opinion. But in your heart, deep down, you know, and you need to trust that inner guide, because it will guide you and it will not fail you. But if you doubt yourself, you won't follow it. So trust yourself.
Well said from both of you. As far as, now I know we all know acting is your passion. Are there any other creative projects? I mean, I know music, art. What else are you both working on that nurtures your creative process?
Well, I'm so impressed with McKenna, because she has music and
She's doing everything.
She does everything. And I feel a bit lazy because I'm just an actor. I mean, I started out thinking of myself as a writer, and then I wake up in the morning and I said I should be writing. I should actually, there's some people want me to produce this thing, I should do that. I was like, nah, I'm an actor. That's all I do. That's all I want to do. Now, the fact that I'm almost 80 years old, that probably has something to do with, I think the spirit of old age. People, it's a spirit, and it just makes you slow down. It's very soft. It says to you very softly, you don't really want to get up, just sit there. Why don't you take a nap? And you say, well, I should be writing a script. And it says, no, just take a nap. And little by little, you'll just slow down until you really can't move for real. So I'm kind of lazy. That's all I do. I'm just an actor, and but we're at totally different generations, and I'm inspired by just everything you do, and it's just beautiful to see.
Jeez.
First off, Ernie, I'm so sorry, but I refuse to call you lazy, because, sir, you are approaching 80, and you look fantastic.
Insane.
Absolutely fantastic. Black don't crack, it clearly chisels, okay? You look great, sir.
Well, they say black don't crack, but I say on the inside.
Okay, I felt that one.
On the inside, high blood pressure, all that stuff, heart disease, and you go down the list, and we're at the top of the thing. But we look good. It's, oh my God, he's dead, but he looks so good. But So, but thank you. Thank you.
Yes. And McKenna, same question to you. Is this?
Sorry, that was so cool, like being complimented. Like, oh wow, that's so sick. I act. I actually I play music. I just played a show. What day is it? It's Thursday. I played a show on Tuesday night in Nashville. That was really cool. I played music and then I flew here and now I'm getting to meet everybody, so it's so fun. But yeah, I do music, I write, all sorts of things.
Everybody follow her on Spotify right now. Do it. Let's get those follows. Stream that right now.
Thanks.
Is there any projects that we can look forward that we can listen to immediately or on the way home?
Musically, I have a lot of music out. So I actually did my first song that ever came out was in the end credits of Ghostbusters Afterlife. It was called Haunted House, so that one's fun.
There you go. There you go. Now, I do have Ernie. I got to ask you, how do you take care of yourself? Let's get that workout plan. Let's get that diet plan. You know, there's a lot of people that want to know.
Yeah, you know, people do ask me that a lot, and you know, I say, you just don't be stupid, you know. And they said, well, I got to get in shape, and I said, well, the reason you're not in shape because you're probably pretty stupid. You knew you should have got up and you should have walked, and you didn't get up. You sat there on that couch, and you know when you had that little bit of ice cream at night, you ate the whole thing. It's like, come on now, you know what I mean? You're gonna have a drink, you drank the whole bottle. And now you wonder why your skin looks a little messed up and why your eyes are red. Come on, man, just don't do the stupid stuff. Now, we all will have our moments. Just can't have a moment every day, you know?
Yeah.
So just be nice to yourself,
Yeah.
love yourself, and just be kind to yourself. That's my, you know, and also try to find the love. I've been married 50 years, and sometimes, a lot of times I have to say, find the love. I know I love this woman. What is it that I love? I know there's some love in here somewhere, so I got to find it. So yeah, so find the love. Focus on the love, because the thing that really pisses you off, there's a lot of it out there. Don't focus on it though. Let it go. Let it go.
I love that. McKenna, any love advice that you?
Any love advice?
Yeah, any love
Can
advice?
somebody give me some love advice, please? Thank you. I'm just listening to them and I'm like, oh man, lucky.
No, that's cool. No, I know there's some great people over here that want to ask some questions. I do want to open the floor up for questions. We have our first panelist right here, or first question right here. Hey. Hey, how you doing? Speaking to that mic, don't be afraid.
What?
Okay.
What do you make? What film Ghostbusters do you like to make the most?
Which of the Ghostbusters did we like to make the most? I feel like I'll let you answer that one since you. Which one of the Ghostbusters did you like to make the most? Since you've
which one,
been
the
around
movies?
for all
Oh,
of them.
I thought you meant the people.
Oh.
No, the movies. I think it would have to be the first Ghostbusters and Afterlife. I really, really loved doing Afterlife. It was great coming back together. It was fun. That's me.
Thank you for your question. Who's next? All right, who's next? There we go. How you doing?
Hi, I'm Erica, and I just want to say I'm a true believer of the supernatural as well. And my question is, what was the most memorable moment on the set of Ghostbusters, you know, for the both of you?
For me, I feel like one of my most memorable moments, of course, is being on set and all of the memories I made there. But for me, probably my favorite memory of getting to be a part of Ghostbusters was before I was a part of it, was whenever I got to do the chemistry reads, was because they brought me in and I was so determined to play it cool. I was like, okay, I'm gonna play this so cool. I'm gonna go in, be so professional. And I walked in and Ivan and Jason Reitman were both there. And I was like, okay, you're gonna play this cool. And then they brought out a proton pack for me to put on. and I cried. And I cried, and then I let it spill out, and then I cried, and I was like geeking out, and I was so excited. But that was like the first time that I ever met Ivan, and that was so special to me. And I got to put on a proton pack for the first time, so that's my favorite memory, because I cried.
There you go.
Wow, the most memorable moment. I sit and I'm trying to, I think Sigourney Weaver wrote a poem about Ghostbusters. She just wrote this poem. And I remember it was in the very beginning of the first movie, and we'd only worked together for a few days. And so she started this poem, and it was kind of cool, and she mentioned Bill and Danny and Harold, and I sat there thinking, she's probably not going to mention me. So the poem was going on, and then she mentioned me, and I was like, oh wow, this is so nice. Oh, it's so good, like I'm a part of it. And I know I made more out of it than, but I still remember going, wow, I'm included, I'm a part of the Ghostbusters too. So that still, nobody else saw it, but it was that moment.
Aww.
So,
That's dope.
yeah.
Real quick, how heavy are those proton packs? Just out of curiosity.
They are heavy.
Yeah, I'd say probably about 40 to 50 pounds.
It's
You know,
nasty.
I've seen you guys fans make backpacks, and they make them out of really light material, and they look amazing. But somehow the studio never quite got the message, you know?
It's kind of baloney.
Yeah, and they're really kind of heavy, and
No, because it's like you think that it might be because of all the electronics, but no, people come up and they have fully functioning
Yeah.
proton packs that smoke and smell like
Yeah.
marshmallows.
yeah, no, it's amazing.
Half the times ours are breaking and they're still like 50 pounds.
I know. Yeah, it's true. They're very heavy, unnecessarily so. I think
That's why you're in good shape. That's what it is. This man been lifting proton packs for 30 years.
Yeah, no, and I see, the young guys, they have no problem. I see Bill and Danny, and, they're sort of struggling, and
Oh, no.
me too, but I refuse to show it. I'm like, having trouble, Danny? I'm doing pretty good with mine. But, no, they're really heavy for some stupid reason.
I want to get to you right here.
Okay, my question's more towards McKenna, unless Ernie's dropping beats we don't know about. It's about McKenna's music. But are you planning on producing any new music or putting your music on like a vinyl or CD for your fans to buy?
I would love to. I think that it's also just like a matter of like I want my music to do well enough to be able to make CDs or vinyls or to go on tour or things like that. But I have over like 100 demos on my phone. I have written like 20 songs over the past 2 weeks. I have been grinding out the music, but I just have not released most of it. So I'm trying. I'm trying to put out some more music soon, hopefully.
Love it. 20 songs in the last 2 weeks?
Listen, man. Listen, heartbreak, okay?
Okay, I'm sorry.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean.
didn't bring it up. Okay.
It's rough.
It's okay.
It's okay. I put it in
all
the
good.
music.
Find the love.
I'm trying.
Right here.
Hi, my question is also directed to you, McKenna. I know you were on Fuller House. What was it like working with the crew and the cast and just being a part of that next generation?
Well, that was so cool as well because that was also something that I was such a big fan of, just like Ghostbusters. I remember because I came into Fuller House, I think, in the second season, and my mom and we had binge watched all of the first season the day that it dropped. Her and I spent the day in her room, and I went and crawled up in her bed, and we binge watched the entire first season of Fuller House because her and I had watched all of Full House over the summer. So it was such a big deal to me to get to be a part of it. And everybody there was so nice, just like everybody on Ghostbusters. They were so lovely and so fun, and it really became like a family because I was on there for a couple seasons, so it was so fun.
Good question.
So the last question was kind of on a spiritual side of believing in ghosts. I want to know if either of you have ever had a spooky or scary encounter, maybe working on the set or at home. And thought, hey, who am I going to call?
Well played.
Yeah, I grew up in a family that believed in ghosts and saw things that they couldn't explain. My grandmother definitely believes in ghosts and believes she was visited by my mom, who passed away when I was 3 months old. So, yeah, I've seen things in my life that I can't explain, but I think I've sort of got past the fear of that when I realized that all the mass shootings, they weren't done by ghosts. So they probably can't pick up a gun and shoot anybody. So I don't have a fear of it, but I definitely believe that things that we can rationalize. In fact, there was a place called, they televised this thing. I was invited to come to Greer, Arizona, a haunted hotel, and spend the night.
Nope.
Because there was there was this ghost.
Yeah, I'm with
that,
you. I would not be doing that.
Young man who had been killed in this hotel, and he haunted. And so when people would go there, sheets were ripped off their beds and just kind of crazy stuff. And people would leave in the middle of the night. And they were paying me money, so I thought, okay, I mean, you know, there's a steady paycheck in it. I'll believe anything you say. So, so we went to Greer, Arizona, and my wife, my son, and some friends, we thought it would just be kind of fun. And about 3 o'clock in the morning, I woke up. My son was in the one bed. My wife and I was, you know, in the other bed. But there was it was like a light that was, it was like an orb that was floating over my son's bed, and it was, and I'm looking at this, and it was just, and so I woke my wife up and said, you know, just don't, but do you see anything? And she said, oh my God, there's something. So I said, no. So and then he woke up and said, what? And then the orb just sort of floated down to the door, and when it got to the door, it was like this, it turned black, and it was this black, like you could see where the light comes through the crack of the door. Well, it's like it would block out parts, you know. And so I turned the light on, and there was nothing there. And then we just totally panicked. Now, the only reason so we actually left the room when we ran. There was a room upstairs on the 3rd floor that they were going to be monitoring with these infrared lights. And so we thought we'd go up there and tell them. But when we got up to this room, the door wasn't locked, and we opened the door, and this cold breeze sort of blew through, and we just ran down the hall kind of screaming. So we went back to the room, we kind of huddled together and waited for the morning to come. The next morning, they had a radio station that was saying, well, were there any unusual events that happened? I feel like I'm not telling this story very well, but, and so I was going to speak up, and this guy says, no, something happened, and he wanted to tell his first, and he says he was staying in this room where they were monitoring, and everybody fell asleep, and then he woke up, and the door opened, and he said, I heard the most ghastly sound of, oh, and it was these sounds and these screams, and it was like floating down the hallway. and I was like, that was us. We were the ones running down the hallway. So, but the only reason I bring that up because, you know, when you see something by yourself, you think, well, maybe I didn't see that, maybe that wasn't real. But the fact that all three of us sort of experienced it, it made it. So this Ghost Stories, they did a story about that. It was on TV, and anyway, so yeah, but so I've had a few things that were kind of weird.
That happened and you don't believe in ghosts?
Well,
That's crazy.
well, yeah, I'm not quite sure. But I do believe ghosts affect our thoughts. I think that's more likely to happen. You know, I think a possession, but more than, you know, not like, you know, ghosts are gonna come and rip the hole in a wall or something.
That's so scary.
What about you, McKenna?
Me? Oh, a ghost story. I was so like enthralled. Gee whiz, nothing like that.
You didn't stay at a freaky, spooky Airbnb or nothing like that?
No, I'm not gonna stay at a spooky, freaky Airbnb. Jeepers, I'm really trying to think. I'm like racking my brain. I did one of the Annabelle films, and I can't tell if it was that everybody was on edge during shooting, because literally the first day, they had like an actual priest come and bless the set and throw holy water on everything, and so everybody was super on edge, as if like Annabelle was gonna come after us. So I feel like a bunch of scary stuff happened on there, but I can't tell if it was just like us getting in our heads or if it was actually like Annabelle. But whoa.
Yeah, and also, so, I have friends who will, getting close to death, and you say, listen, don't try to come back and, please, just, wait for me on the other side. I don't need you showing up. My wife, if you die, I'll miss you, but don't show up in our bedroom. Okay? No, I don't want to see a ghost. I don't want the experience. Thank you very much. I'm good.
Real quick, briefly moving away from Ghostbusters for a second. I know you both have more emotional roles. I want to talk about Handmaid's Tale and as The Gifted, and as well as you playing Ward and Glenn in Oz. How do you prepare for such? Like, I know Ghostbusters, it's silly, it's spooky, but how would you? What's the difference? I mean, has there been a difference in preparing for more dramatic and emotional roles? What's that been like for you?
Well, yeah, no, it's all, every character is different. I think every character has a certain rhythm. We all have a different kind of energy, a different sort of rhythm. I think when you can, you work hard to sort of find that thing, that makes it uniquely individual. And when you find it, it's like you can't do any wrong because you're there. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, unfortunately, you can't always find it. But yeah, no, it's, you kind of, for me, everybody's different, but for me, you research and you study and you go through it and to get to that place. But when I finally found the character in The Hand that Rocks the Cradle, it's like, it's just a place you have to, when you're there, but, and Oz was very different because it was a prison and
very different.
And they had some of the guys who had actually served time, and yeah, but everyone is sort of different, So.
Thank you, McKenna.
Well, I feel like it really just depends on what you're playing or who you're playing. But for me, I find that my through line in preparing for something is music. I find that I'll make a different playlist for most of the characters that I play, and I find that music is really instrumental for me in tapping into like feeling sad or feeling different emotions, because I think that for me at least, music can bring a lot of emotions to the surface, and it can really hit like close to my heart. So I guess I make different playlists that help me get into a character, which I feel like sometimes is silly, but it really helps me.
Little playlist vibes. So I got to ask a question from my good friend Jimmy Martin, who's no longer here with us. But what is your go-to favorite karaoke song? I got to ask because you brought up music. So he would always ask guests that on this stage. So I have to ask that question to you, both of y'all. What?
That's a good one. For me, I think that it's either like, I have three. I have Hopelessly Devoted.
Okay.
Before He Cheats, and You Oughta Know by Alanis Morissette. So
okay,
those are like my three
text.
go-tos. I'm very interested.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably My Way.
Usher?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No.
Frank Sinatra. I'm teasing.
Man, I'm 78 years old.
I just wanted to guess. It was a shot in the dark, okay? Just wanted to guess. Usher, baby.
Love to see you singing Usher.
So, the people that I have on my playlist have been dead a long time. And I don't want a visitation from any of them, but...
Oh, thank you. My friend over here.
Hi. So first of all, just thank you so much for coming down here. And of course, thank you guys for your performances, not only just in Ghostbusters, but a few of the other things I've seen you both in, like you for Mr. Hudson. Of course, I enjoyed hearing your voice in Transformers Prime, the show. I liked watching that. And I loved your performance, McKenna, in Gifted. That was very phenomenal.
Thank you.
But so my question is, when you guys are just, relaxing and, just maybe decide probably to watch a movie, what was like some film you loved watching, probably growing up, or like probably something recent that you just enjoyed like watching and having a good time?
I loved Ghostbusters growing up. I really liked Ghostbusters, and Scream has always been like my all-time favorite film, and like Ratatouille and Tangled and like Romeo and Juliet. Those are always like my go-tos, my comfort films.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. It's a Wonderful Life. I like the you know, because I think as a kid, movies would be, you know, you learn from your neighbors and your parents, but you learn a lot about the greater world from watching movies and stuff. So I watched a lot of films, but I've always liked movies that sort of were, you know, just kind of nice, fun movies. I don't watch a lot of stuff now. I watch stuff with my wife watches stuff, so I'll sit there to spend time, and I'll kind of go, "Why are you looking at that?" And then she'll say, "What do you want to watch?" And I'll go, "I don't know, but I shouldn't be looking at that." But so I you know, I don't know. You know, when I was a kid, it was the westerns, you know. So you know, High Noon, and you know, that's how you be a man. You love your horse more than your family, but. No, I don't know. I love movies and TV stuff, but nothing really comes to mind. But except every year I watch It's a Wonderful Life. So.
There you go. Thank you. My young friend right here.
So we all know that Finn Wolfhard was in Stranger Things. Was it difficult working with him?
It was difficult working with him.
Was he always bragging? And what was your least favorite scene to do with him?
My least favorite scene to do with him? Me?
For both of you.
Okay.
Well, you
Every scene with Finn Wolfhard was my least favorite scene to shoot with him. I don't know. I always had fun with Finn. What did I hate shooting with him? You know what? I always have a really good time with Finn, but the first week of shooting the last Frozen Empire was so difficult, and it wasn't because of either of us or any of the cast, but it was literally for a week straight just us on a green screen in the car shooting the same scene every day for like 15 hours for 7 days. So we were all going insane by the end of it. It was the car chase scene at the beginning of Frozen Empire was what we started with. And we all went a little stir crazy, but it was also really nice to all be together again. So we always have fun together.
Yeah, no, he's just a great guy.
He's
So
fun.
I said a lot of fun working with him. I would sort of tease him because on Stranger Things they had a Ghostbuster episode, and the black kid on the show, they were going to make him Winston, and he didn't want to be Winston. Like, why am I Winston? How come I got to be Winston? And when I met him, he felt so bad. He said, I didn't want to say that. I'm like, dude, it's okay, it's okay.
Thank you so much. My young friend right here. What?
Hi, let me say it's an honor to be meeting you guys, or just speaking to you. My question to you is, what is your favorite Pokemon or cartoon character?
I was gonna say, are you dressed as Mimikyu?
Yes.
I like Mimikyu. I love Pokemon. I love Pokemon so much. I have like 4 binders inside of my like drawer in my bedroom, and they're like divided by rarity. I like eBay card. Like I'm into it. I like Dragonair. That's my favorite Pokemon. What's your favorite Pokemon?
Well, I remember, yeah.
Yeah, what's your favorite Pokemon, man?
Yeah, what's your favorite Pokemon?
What is it, Charizard? Or it was. I spent like $375 for one of those cards when my kid.
No.
Yeah, when Pokemon first came out, you couldn't find certain ones, and so I spent a ton of money on Pokemon cards, which yeah, no, it's my favorite cartoon was Mighty Mouse.
Yes. Yes.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah.
How we doing over here?
Who is your favorite person to film with?
My favorite person to film with.
Aww.
Excluding me.
Excluding you, because you would be my obvious answer, always. Out of the Ghostbusters cast? I'm just gonna go out of the Ghostbusters cast. I really enjoyed shooting with Dan just because he and I got to have a lot of stuff together this go around. We also got to have a lot of stuff together this go around, which I had a lot of fun with. I don't know. I just think that it's always really fun working with Dan because I personally love listening to like his ghost stories and his alien stories because they're so like intricate and like I love them. And he's always really just like brings a lot of joy and is always excited to like be on set. It's always just nice to work with him.
Yeah, I work with Betty Davis, and I was so just impressed, thankful, so cool. It just got to Hollywood, and she complimented me at the end of our scene, and so that was that was kind of my favorite person. Her and Ricardo Montalban. I did Fantasy Island.
Oh, there you go.
And I was in my dressing room because we had all these television stars on the show, and I was just kind of starting out, and I was a little bit uncomfortable, so I was going to have my lunch in my trailer, and there was a knock on the door, and it was Ricardo, and he says, "Welcome." He sort of welcomed me, and took me around and introduced me to all the cast, and he got my lunch, and he sat there and had lunch with me. And I thought, wow, he didn't have to do that. Whenever someone is, they're nice, but they don't have to do that. And he sort of went out of his way to make me feel just a part of the show. And I always thought if I ever get a show of my own, I would always remember that. And he was so nice that I saw him about 4 months before he died, and he pretended he remembered me. I don't know if he actually did, but it was nice of him to say that. And so he was very, very special.
We got time for 2 more. That's all right. I'm very sorry we have time for 2 more, but a lightning round real quick. My friend right here. Ready?
Okay, first of all, it's an honor to meet you guys.
Hi.
And question to you.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Okay, we can hear you.
Question to you guys is, what experience?
Hold on. Just take my mic.
Whoa! That was cool.
Given your guys' personal experiences with the movie, what do you guys think it takes to be a Ghostbuster?
Ooh. What are we doing? Given our personal experience with the film, what do we think it takes to be a Ghostbuster?
Oh, okay. Well, first, can't be afraid of no ghosts.
That's what we heard.
That's good.
That was a very.
Can I side with
That's a
that?
perfect answer. We got time for one last one. Here we go.
Hi. So Congo. I think your character was the best part of that whole movie. I loved it. And I think the world needed a spin-off with Captain Monroe Kelly. Was that ever considered to do a spin-off with that character?
Well, yeah, it was considered a lot by me, only me. Not by the studio, apparently, but it was so much fun. And thank you so much, because it was one of the, I had so much fun with that character and with that movie, and I would have liked to have seen the spinoff, but that didn't happen. But thank you, it really means a lot. Yeah.
Cut him a check. There we go. This is our last one. She's been waiting very patiently. I appreciate y'all just for hanging out.
Of course.
Yeah. What's your name?
My name is Kennedy, and my question goes to McKenna Grace. So, were you and Finn Wolfhard good buddies while making Ghostbusters Afterlife?
No, we hated each other. Every day was terrible. Yeah, of course. It was always really nice, especially on Frozen Empire. It was really nice because whenever I started off in Ghostbusters, I had just turned 13, and I don't know how old Finn was. He must have been like 15 or 16, but Logan and I had each other. But it's been nice now that I've been older, and just we all get to be friends and hang out. And Finn is family. Like, I love Finn. Yeah, we had a blast, especially on the last one and on the press tour. Yeah, Finn and I had a lot of fun.
Wow, you were 13.
Yeah, and I literally, Jason Reitman and Logan came to my 13th birthday party. Wow. And Logan did the worm on the dance floor. I just thought that was important.
Ernie, can you do the worm?
I'm sorry, what?
Can you still do the worm?
I'm starting to feel like the worm. But,
Well, that's all the time that we have for. Please give a round of applause for McKenna Grace and Ernie Hudson. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you for coming.